Howdy, friends. It's Podcast Unlocked, the world's #1 Xbox podcast, episode 266 for October 5th, 2016. We don't have a lot of time today. It is the,
busy time
eye of the hurricane now with all the big holiday reviews, either just completed the reviews here, or we're knee-deep in them, or neck-deep in them in certain cases, or they're imminently coming in, and there's all sorts of prep. So we have not a lot of time. Fortunately, not a lot of news, because everything is just
game release.
But a couple of things worth talking about. I actually wanted to start just with a couple of plugs to get some housekeeping out of the way. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We haven't really reminded you of that in a little while. It's there. We're going to be doing cool stuff on it. We've got some Let's Plays coming up with the Unlocked crew.
Yeah, Alana and I played a bunch of the opening couple hours of Gears of War 4.
Quattro.
So, so those will be going up shortly.
So youtube.com/IGN Unlocked, as all one word there. Go subscribe to that.
And one of the videos has me unlocking things. Ooh. You'll have to watch them all to find out.
Well, you have like a giant Dungeon Master keychain. You just can't get the one door unlocked.
So this is an interesting thing that's happening on iTunes now. If you've ever wanted to listen to the latest IGN news and reviews while you're on the go, instead of reading them, you now can with IGN Spoken Editions on iTunes. IGN Spoken Editions are read aloud versions of our written coverage. If you are that lazy, you can... No, not lazy.
Oh,
just
I
busy.
am.
I know you are.
Oh, yeah.
Our audience now. Our audience is actually busy people.
I subscribe.
You're just lazy. So the IGN Spoken Editions are read aloud versions of our written coverage. These daily editions are free and available on iTunes now, so go and listen to the latest game reviews, movie reviews, news, comics, coverage conveniently on the iOS device of your choice, and let us know what you think.
Now when Marty says, "Did you read my review?" I'll be like, "Yes."
I will listen to it.
Not technically. Listen to
I will
it,
lie.
absolutely.
There you go.
So, Gears of War 4. Marty, you're getting about 60% of the way through it.
Yeah, I just finished Act 3.
I have finished it, so we've held this podcast's release, obviously, for just a few extra hours to meet the review embargo for Gears 4. So the final score isn't going to go up till launch, because got to make sure those servers are going to work. But everything's been smooth sailing so far on the pre-release servers. So I will say, spoiler-free, number one. I'm not going to give away anything. I know the game's not even out yet. You guys,
are we going to record an actual spoiler cast?
We will do that. Maybe at the end of next week's show.
Once people have had an actual chance.
Yeah, we'll tack it onto the end.
I like it.
I'm not playing till Thursday, so
cool.
Okay. We'll wait for you, Destin.
Thanks.
But just in summary, my review is up on IGN. I highly encourage you to read it. It's much more detailed than what I'm going to say here. But Marty, when I finished it, and this isn't a spoiler thing. I'm speaking purely in general terms. I'm not saying that there are specific things that go on, but I really saw quite the parallel to Star Wars Episode 7.
Yeah,
where it was this trilogy that a lot of people love from a little while ago. Not as long as Star Wars, obviously, but now it's a new director. In this case, the Coalition, and it's a new generation of heroes. It's JD and Kate and Del. But you've got Marcus in the game playing the Han Solo role as far as the mentorship, and I couldn't help but see, and it's a super fun, it kind of follows. There are beats that will remind you of Gears 1, and again, I'm speaking purely in general terms in the sense of it kind of gets back to that Gears 1, a little bit of that survival horror vibe, where it's this new mysterious enemy that even the not only we the players, but the characters themselves
are just what the hell is this?
What is going on? What is this? So I couldn't help but think of Episode 7, but in a really good way, because for me, Episode 7 was, I walked out of the theater with a huge smile on my face, and it was such a fun ride. And that's exactly how I felt about
it's a
Gears
great
4 when
passing
I got to
of the torch, and it's really it's a thing that has those elements that people who are diehard fans of the original trilogy, original 4 games, I guess, with Judgment,
poor
Judgment. Poor Judgment.
Even the Coalition kind of writes off Judgment.
People are totally going to be like, oh man, this is an awesome callback to this, or this is familiar, or this is an awesome parallel to this. Whereas I also do think this can be your entry point to the series. It does a good job of getting you up to speed on what happened in those 3 games.
I really
where
like
we are
what the
now.
beginning. Again, I'm not going to spoil anything.
It's a
but
really smart prologue
I like
tutorial.
the way that the game opens
Yeah.
and sort of does bridge that gap
Yeah.
a little bit.
Absolutely.
You compared Marcus to Han Solo, and I'm just really sad now because I never even thought about the possibility that anything like that could happen.
I told you I was speaking in general terms.
But all bets are off.
Yeah.
Well, no, it could happen. You
will
are
play the
being
game for
spoiler
yourself.
free.
Yeah.
You are spoiler free.
Yeah.
And when I play it, I'm just like, oh my god.
Well, no, it's great.
He
Like
could.
Marcus has that awesome, like Han Solo in Force Awakens. It is that he's like sort of an old curmudgeon, and he has to
Yes.
hang out with these like 3 energetic kids. And like when they're freaking out about something, he's like, "Well, I've seen this so much before. Like, what are you freaking out at?" But it's just great because he's this old man who like he just doesn't. He just wants to be left alone.
He does.
He's like, get off my lawn. He likes
likes
his tomato
tomatoes.
gardens.
Yeah.
And really, his banter with JD and with all 3 of them actually is just really genuinely funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the banter. I love the banter between the characters. The characters are genuinely likable.
Yeah.
I
Well,
really
good
like-
voice performances too.
Oh yeah, totally.
I played a small portion of it, but since then I've just been like, you have nothing to worry about, Gears. You're gonna have a blast. That's just my impression from the IGN first stuff that we did. I loved what I experienced.
Yeah, the combat still feels just as fantastic as it
Yeah.
did back in the day. It was really nice just pulling off active reloads and be like, oh, like my body remembers
Makes
this.
the same sound effect. They
Exactly.
didn't, they
When
didn't change.
And when you clear all the enemies from an area, you still get the
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I love
Yeah.
that. It's like kind of cheesy, but I really love it.
Totally. And to be fair, I mean, this isn't a criticism, but I will say, if you are looking for Gears 4, new generation of Gears with a new developer to reinvent Gears of War, this is not that game. This, to me, feels like a game that was intentionally designed to say, hey, Gears of War fans, we know it's been a little while, and we know we're not Cliff Bleszinski and Epic, but look, we can make a really good Gears game, see? And so if you're looking for something totally reinvented, this is not that.
No.
This is a really good Gears of War game.
Yeah.
Really good.
Gorgeous, fun,
amazing.
well-paced, polished Gears game.
Yeah, by the 9.2 I have on it now, which honestly I don't expect that to change, barring a server
Catastrophic
disaster
day
of
one,
the Battlefield 4 Master Chief Collection
Yeah.
kind of variety. Actually, on those notes on multiplayer, Marty, you'd played Horde.
Yeah, I've played a
at
lot of Horde at
PAX,
events. Yeah.
and now I've played a bunch, and I mean I've always loved Horde right from Gears 2 and 3, and I particularly loved it in Gears 3 when they added the tower defense stuff, and the evolution of that in this one is to me so smart, and it plays so well where you've got your mobile fabricator, where the thing from which everything pops out that you can go build. And I love that you can put it anywhere you want, sort of set up wherever you want, and then all the enemies drop these little like chits that float in the air, and you collect them all, and everybody has to deposit them back in. You want to do that if you die.
rounds,
If you die, you lose. Those are gone.
Yeah.
So and then it becomes a shared pool of resources from which you have to all decide. All right, what are we going to build?
Yeah, and it's great. Certain character classes, because there's 5 classes you choose from. Certain ones get double currency when you deposit.
Yes.
Certain ones, it only costs half to build something, whereas the other ones are more like active, sort of action-based perks. Yeah, I think it's really cool how you can pull where you put the fabricator is really strategic. You can put it all the way in the back so that it's much safer from the enemy waves, but you can also place it much closer to the front where it's more susceptible to damage, but also much easier for you to build things on the fly mid-match, which definitely when you start hitting those like 10s and 20s and 30s, you're going to need to start building things because those waves are super hard.
Yeah, I got hung up on wave 20, so not even super deep into it. But man, yeah, just again those tweaks. I liked the being the engineer because then I could, in place of my pistol, I had a little repair gun and I could
super
repair
cool.
our stuff.
Yeah.
So that was what I found. And then on the versus side, I mean, they just give you it's 10 maps, 10 seemingly mostly pretty good maps, including of course. You can't have a Gears game without gridlock.
Oh, of course.
Perfect.
Which looks, of course, nicer than ever. And then plenty of game modes. A lot of them are either Gears staples or things that have been worked well in other games. They have basically Call of Duty's gun game where you have to work through all the guns. You have to get a kill with all the guns to win.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's just. I really think if I just look at multiplayer in isolation in this generation, like what else? You've got Call of Duty out there. You've got Halo 5 out there. What else? What else are people playing?
Titanfall.
Battlefront. I mean, I think it's it stands up really well. When you take the Horde and Versus, it fits in nicely, and it's different than all those, and it
feels that's the big thing is it feels different than everything else that's on the market.
So
honestly.
I would say bravo to the Coalition for making an excellent Gears of War game. And I can't wait for everybody else to play it so we can talk more freely.
Yeah, we'll do full spoilers once it's out in the wild and once folks have got a chance to play through it and our thoughts on the actual story beats and everything.
I'm excited to play more now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really
and I suspect that Gears 4 will probably crack our Xbox One top 25 list the next time we update it. We just updated
Barely missed it.
The timing on these is kind of weird. There's never really a great time. We do it twice a year, a spring and a fall update. We just did our fall update, so games we made the cutoff basically the end of September. So Forza Horizon 3 makes the cut, which we gave a 9.5 to, but Gears of War 4 does not make the cut. So
come February, I think it'll be on it.
Yeah, so take a look. If you just Google IGN top 25 Xbox One, you'll find it. There are 8 new games that made the list this time.
It's been a good 6 months.
Really, including a new number 1, which I'm pretty sure you can guess what it is. But new number 1, and then a couple in the top 10, and a lot in the middle tier too. The bottom of the list didn't change quite as much.
And a nice mix of indie, AAA.
Yes.
Kind of
So you'll update in spring, and then Mass Effect will come out, and then.
Well, let's hope Mass Effect's good.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's good enough to make the list.
Yeah.
But have fun. Take a look at that, and of course, you'll tweet me and you'll comment about how wrong we are about which game didn't make the cut. The most common one I'm hearing is well, you know what? I don't want to ruin it for anybody. I'll see if they throw their complaint on.
Is there a common one?
There is a common one that we like a lot, but just not quite enough to crack the top 25 with.
Yeah.
So
when you're 3 years into a console, 25 is not a lot of games.
That's true.
You're in rarefied atmosphere.
That is true. And one other thing I just want to mention. I mean, it's a plug technically, but I actually think our audience will really genuinely be interested in this because I sure as hell was. I didn't know that our UK team was doing this, so I saw this on IGN when everyone else did. The IGN UK team did an interview with the lead designer of Sea of Thieves. It is a 2-page massive feature, basically, split into questions. Like, well, what about this? And what about that? And it's called so just Google IGN Sea of Thieves. What the hell actually is this game? That's the name of the article, and it just answers a ton of questions about what you actually do that goes well above and beyond the stuff that we play. That one
15-minute
shipbuilding
chunk,
ship combat slice that we played at E3. So really, really encourage everybody to listen to that, or rather read that, or I guess listen to it on IGN Spoken Editions.
Is the person gonna have an accent? If they don't have a British accent, I'm not
Oi,
listening.
mateys!
Yikes.
That's my. I'm really bad at accents.
Whoa!
Oi, mateys.
You know what?
That's English, right?
No, you didn't even have an accent. You just said "oi, mateys."
Louder,
American
right?
accent.
Yeah, I'm really bad at. I'm not good at impersonations.
I think you're going to get that Mass Effect Andromeda gig that we auditioned for on the air a few weeks ago. I really think your chances are good, Destin.
Oh, that's really
sweet.
Oh, man. All right, that's it. Let's come right back. We're going to cover 2 notable news stories, and that's it. And then tell you what's out. We'll do a trivia and then get out of here right after this. Okay. 5:20. Force a habit. Okay, so let's
I'll help
go.
that editor.
We'll do 5:35, so 5 seconds from now. 2, 1. All right, news. There isn't much of it because, as we said at the top, everything's just
all about
releasing.
video games and hardware.
Marty, you're eagerly anticipating Mafia is out this Friday.
Yeah, and so just a PSA. We are getting Mafia the day it comes out, and so
they did not send advance review copies of that.
Which a lot of times that's a bad sign. We know that's not always the case because that happened with Doom this year, and Doom was awesome. And so I'll be playing that all weekend. I'll try to have impressions up by the end of the day Friday, and then a full review early next week. So I'm excited for that.
Be keeping an eye out for that. But first, this is about as out of left field as left field gets.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought you were joking when you told me this morning. Genuinely thought you were joking.
Well, and then I thought it was fake. I saw this trailer, and I was like, I don't know if this is real, but I'm really excited because you have this toy on your desk.
I do. And then the press release came in moments later confirming it's being a real thing. And that, friends, this is for all you OG Xbox fans such as
Only
myself.
2001 kids are going to remember this. Yeah.
2003 specifically. Sorry. Voodoo Vince Remastered is a thing.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to stop you right here because I know all of you are like, you hate remasters, Ryan. We have said time and again, there's a reverse statute of limitations where something has to be of a certain age before I become okay with a remaster.
I think if we skip a generation, I'm cool with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Ryan has these caveats, and like
shut up, Justin.
like a one
do as
page.
I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Well,
no, I agree, dude. It's been you said 2003. That's 13 years. 14 by the time it comes out.
This game came out, in September of 2003. Voodoo Vince. I'm going to venture a guess here and say that 90+% of the unlocked audience never played Voodoo Vince.
I don't think I played it.
It didn't sell super great when it came out. I mean, it was just not a big thing. We had a demo of it on the OXM disc. We, of course, we played it. I believe we gave it an 8.8 back in the day. So really, it was a really good platformer. We're going to find out if it holds up. Hopefully, like Psychonauts, which is from around that same time, it will. But, a trailer popped up, and it is coming back from the original creator. It's a gentleman named, I'm going to probably torch his last name, and I'm going to apologize for this in advance. Clayton Kozlaric. I hope.
That looks good.
I hope. Kauzlaric.
Nailed it. Let's go with it. Ryan nailed it.
Thanks. I appreciate your sympathy, Destin. So he says, I'm super excited to bring Voodoo Vince back. Backward compatibility was never possible due to the nature of our game engine, plus meaning it was never backwards compatible on 360. But the ID at Xbox program got me thinking about publishing an HD remastered version independently, with much of the game rewritten from the ground up to run on newer hardware. The folks at Microsoft have been amazingly supportive of the idea. This is coming to Xbox One and Windows 10.
Yeah.
So the first thing I thought of was, I bet Phil Spencer had something directly to do with this. And I say that because if you guys have seen Unlocked 201, which was with Phil, Seamus, and Peter Moore, Phil told the story of how I had asked him, what's your favorite original Xbox game? And he said Voodoo Vince because he said he has fond memories. He played it with his daughters who were real young at the time. So it seemed to be near and dear to Phil's heart. So, Phil, I know you're listening, and I'm going to venture to guess to say that you had something to do with this, because who would have ever thought this would happen, Marty?
I thought it was fake. I thought the trailer was fake. And then all of a sudden I look and I'm like, well, like the texture looks really good on Voodoo Vince, because Voodoo Vince is this it's a voodoo doll, so he's got like stitching and patterns and textiles on him. And you look at it, I'm like, oh, this looks really good. Like if this is fake, someone did a really good job. Sure enough, it's real. So all that matters now, what's next? Blinks. Get Blinks back. Get that realistic fur.
You listening, Phil?
You get fur. You get a realistic vacuum physics.
Is the original creator of that pining to remake it on Xbox
Nathan
One?
Nathan Bella already said he would do it.
Did he play that one with his daughter?
Maybe. He played it with his actual cat.
Oh boy, I can't remember the developer's name.
I absolutely can't.
But I know it's a Japanese-developed game.
Really?
Yes, because I remember the creator coming into OXM, coming into our office on a press tour at one point.
Turns out it was From Software's Miyazaki-san.
Wow.
And afterwards, he decided to do Dark Souls.
It paved the way.
It got really dark after that.
Hold on, I gotta look this up now. No, not.
I like this, and also this coming out now makes sense again because, like we've said, sort of in that era, 2003, 4, 5 was the death of the 3D character platformer, along with Psychonauts. And yet now we have this resurgence with Yooka-Laylee coming next year, and Psychonauts being rebooted, and Hat in Time. So I think it's really cool, and I think that this is coming at a good time.
Mm-hmm. My memory has not completely failed me.
It was Miyazaki.
That would be Marty's memory.
Yeah,
not
okay.
Artoon, Artoon. Artoon is the original developer. That information existed somewhere, but it was inaccessible. But yeah, no, I was right. The director is a gentleman named Naoto Oshima, and with a full, it's a Japanese development team.
All right,
made Blinks, the Time Sweeper.
Yeah,
nice.
Bring him back.
Both of them.
I wonder what that guy's been up to.
So we need to hunt him down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna divert all the news team's resources into finding.
You click his name in Wikipedia, and he's just like, "Hey, if anybody wants to remake Blinks, please contact me." It's his home address and email. I really want to work on it.
He does have a Wikipedia page. Japanese artist and former Sega employee who is best known for his original character designs of Sonic the Hedgehog and Dr. Eggman. We know him as the creator of Blinks the Time Sweeper.
So I guess you may have done the iconic design of Sonic the Hedgehog. But
After leaving Sonic Team, Oshima formed an independent game company called Artoon. There he went on to work on such games as Pinobi.
I remember Pinobi.
Like Shinobi.
Really? You do?
Yeah.
You actually do?
Yeah.
I don't. Was it any good?
I believe it was a Game Boy game.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
I could click on it and find out. Then we're just going deeper down the well.
Humble beginnings.
Yeah, Blinks the Time Sweeper, and in 2004, the sequel, Blinks 2 Masters of Time and Space. In 2010, Artoon was absorbed into AQ Interactive.
Rip.
That same year, he and other key members of Artoon left to form Arzest. We'll go deeper down that rabbit. Computer and video game company based out of Yokohama, Japan, founded in 2010. They have 80 employees.
Well, that's
what
enough
have they made? We Play.
What?
Really?
All right, which might be one of the best-selling games of all time because it came with a Wii remote.
Yeah.
Since then, it's been
That's really funny.
It's been DS games and iOS games.
All right.
I mean,
There's
also,
a
So
chance.
he's still
also,
out there.
That man's probably rich because of Wii Play.
Yes.
It sold so many copies just because it came with it was the
The
easiest way to get a
controller.
Wii
But
remote.
Yeah.
was that just a contracted game they did for Nintendo and Nintendo made all the money?
got all the money.
I'm gonna guess that's unfortunately what was probably the case, given that was a first-party
Yeah.
game, right?
I think so. Yeah.
So
Yikes.
that's sadly how those things tend to go. Anyway, yeah, not Blinks, Voodoo Vince. We're getting ahead of myself. Voodoo Vince coming back. I remember it being really fun. I'm going to be eager to play it again. And yes, I do have the original Voodoo Vince plush doll that was just sent out to media. Still on my desk after
nice.
all these years.
Every 6 months, we got a remaster of like Stubbs the Zombie and
stuff
Brute
that's on my
Force,
desk?
and yeah, we just totally go down the line. Yeah, we already got Grim Fandango.
That's true.
Killer Instinct was the kickoff.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Phil Spencer.
That's not a remake.
Speaking of the boss man, he talked some Scorpio stuff that I thought was interesting. I wanted to read you from the IGN story and get your guys' reactions. I'm going to lean Destin's way because I feel like I'm ignoring him too much.
It's okay.
I'm going to tilt.
I'm tired today.
In an interview with NZ Gamer, I'm going to guess that's New Zealand Gamer because he was down in Australia.
Interesting.
Oh,
He also
on our,
deduction.
he's on our pub,
The pubcast.
Is it called the pubcast?
The IGN AU pubcast. So give it a listen. It's with Lucy and Luke Riley.
Yeah.
So, in an interview with NZ Gamer, Spencer said Microsoft designed the Xbox One S and Scorpio in parallel and, quote, thought about the price performance of what we wanted to hit with the Scorpio relative to what we were going to be able to do with the S. As such, Microsoft aims to offer the consumer, quote, a good price continuum so people wouldn't look at these two things as so disconnected because of the price delta. So, if I can translate, tell me if I'm nuts here, guys. I believe he's saying we're not going to have a $300 Xbox One S and a $600 Scorpio. So they're going to be
Closer.
close-ish
Yeah.
in price. Spencer went on to say that he thinks the Scorpio, quote, will feel like it's a premium product, a premium console, and not anything more than that. Because of this, the Xbox boss said that people shouldn't be, quote, worried that this thing is going to be unlike any console price you've ever seen. Hey, the 3DO was $600, right?
Yeah, adjusted. We just did a feature adjusted for inflation, all the console prices.
Oh, that's
since
such a great
the
idea.
Odyssey, and some of them are like over. I think the 3DO is over $1,200.
I
now.
totally believe that. The Neo
Adjusted for
Geo, I'll
inflation.
bet, was
Yeah,
up there. The Neo Geo games were $200 each in like 1993.
But to be
Why did
fair,
that thing work?
They weren't very good.
Anyway, so shouldn't be worried that this thing is going to be unlike any console price you've ever seen, as they, quote, didn't design it that way. He also highlighted the different hard drive size options currently available for the Xbox One S and how that product line is a good indication of what can be expected from the company going forward. Translation, the Scorpio will be offered in different hard drive sizes, probably. Although I hope the smallest one is 1 terabyte, because 4K games have massive effing texture file sizes and thus massive game file size. I mean, you think 50 gigabyte games are bad now, 4K could be a lot worse. A lot more hard drive space.
I mean, it'll probably launch at $399 to $499. I think those are the 2 price points that they would have to launch at, right?
So, meaning the smallest hard drive at $399. Is that what you're saying?
Probably, but then the one you want probably $499.
I agree with you completely. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just don't think. Actually, let me finish.
Because then all their marketing material can be like Xbox Scorpio starting at $399.
Exactly. Spencer also spoke to whether or not Xbox Scorpio will have a 4K Blu-ray drive, and he goes on to say, more or less say, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, I agree completely with you, Destin. I think $399. I think they just have to. Marty and I, you were talking about this. You and I rode down. We were in a car together, trapped. You were trapped with me.
Terrifying.
You couldn't tuck and roll at 60 miles an hour.
Can't believe I made it back alive.
You are still here. Not all of you.
Oh, no.
A piece of you never made
down
it
in
back.
San Mateo.
But I just think it would be. It doesn't matter how powerful it is. When you're the second place guy, buy a lot still. Like, sorry, that's just the market reality. It can't be a penny more than the PS4 Pro is. They can't. It doesn't matter how premium. They can be like, it's great, but consumers go, well, yeah, but I'm happy with this thing, and yours is more. It's got to price match.
You need to say these are the same price, but ours is more powerful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They've got to offer more for the same money.
Yeah. And $399 is sort of that sweet spot. Sony's proved it this generation with the PS4. That's the fact the starting PSVR is $400.
Yeah.
That $399 price tag is like, that's sort of the divide between like, well, it's a lot of money, but I'll buy this, and the $499, which is like, oh, this is $500. Is
like the premium.
Yeah, I mean,
product.
look at the last time that a company went, well, it's worth the higher price. That happened to Sony with the PS3.
Kaz.
And look how that went. And that was after they were coming off the historically successful PS2. And they went, it's worth the premium.
Get a second job.
People went, no, I'll buy a 360 instead. So
there were other problems with that particular console.
But I'm just drawing the parallel.
But I know what you're saying.
It's a cautionary tale for the Scorpio. That's all I'm saying. So
I don't
we'll
think
see.
There's no way Microsoft messes up with their messaging with Scorpio. They've done a fantastic job already.
They've done it. You're right.
Continue going on that route. Don't do what they did with the PS3. Don't do what you did with the launch of the Xbox One.
And to that exact
they've
point,
learned those lessons,
right.
I think.
To that exact point, it's Phil Spencer's Scorpio now.
Yeah.
It wasn't Phil Spencer's Xbox One. That was Don Matrick and Co.'s Xbox One. So and I've said all along, I can't wait to see what Phil Spencer's Xbox looks like, and that's what this thing is. I mean, to an extent, even the Xbox One S is, that falls. He gets credit or blame for that. In this case, credit, because they did a hell of a job on the Xbox One S. So yeah, I agree with you, Destin. I think Phil will make the gamer. He's a smart guy who will make the gamer first choice rather than the entertainment first or mass market first. He'll make the core gamer based decisions, and that's going to mean a $399 starting price.
Yeah. I have no interest in the Pro. Like it's not for me.
No.
Like there's nothing there that I need. But the marketing they've done
I
already.
mean, that being said, we don't know what
I'm
this is
pretty
yet. To be fair.
True. Other than a
I'm very
4K
interested in
native
this.
capable 6 teraflop box.
Yeah,
That's
but
and VR capable.
Sure, yeah.
Those are the things we know about it.
But to me, 6 teraflops doesn't mean anything because I'm an idiot. And so I just want to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
That is fair. Yeah. It
needs to look good, and it needs to have cool games. I mean, the obvious stuff.
To me, that is the difference between, and this is going to be probably misinterpreted as a fanboy statement, but whatever. I don't mean it that way. If I didn't already have a PS4, yes, I would buy the PS4 Pro. Even though I don't have a 4K TV, I would sort of future-proof myself a little bit and take whatever little advantages are offered for non-4K displays. But I already have a PS4, and so the PS4 Pro isn't a big enough step up for me to want to buy one.
Especially with the HDR being added to PS4.
Right,
like
that too. Yeah, existing owners get that for free. Whereas with the Xbox, I already have an Xbox One, but this appears to be enough of a leap that I'm very interested in getting a Scorpio, even though I already have an Xbox One, because this seems to be a substantial enough jump. I mean, you're right, Marty. We don't actually know yet. Yeah. But from what they've been saying so far and leading everybody to believe so far, I'm much more interested in investing in a Scorpio.
I'm excited to see how Microsoft's sort of big coming out party like this compares to the Sony event that you were at last month in New York.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot they can learn from that.
Can't wait. Wonder when it'll be. Probably, I'm going to guess like pre-E3.
Yeah.
I think they'll do an
April,
event
May.
before E3. Probably, yeah. I think you're right on the nose.
I feel like
there.
they don't want to bog down because the event is ultimately probably going to be a little dry just because you are going to be talking about specs and everything.
Yep.
And so I feel like at E3 you want to do games.
That is
Yeah,
very
yeah.
true. Plus, everybody wants to be Apple and have their own event for their own new thing. Like that's just a reality of all business now, of all
It's smart.
technology. Yeah, because you get everybody paying attention to just you instead of sharing the spotlight with them.
It's smart if it's a good event.
Well, that's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
It is the
Yeah.
risk you run.
Yeah.
It is the risk you run. Which the Xbox One reveal event is case in point for how it cannot go well.
Yeah.
All right. We are nearly out of time because we all have to get to other meetings and other projects. So quickly, Marty,
Yes.
Marketplace report, then we'll
Yep.
do, in fact, maybe we'll even skip trivia and just save it for next week.
Cool. At retail, we have Rocksmith 2014 edition remastered for $40. What?
I think it's just everything because
Remaster?
they've been continually adding to
so
that.
it's
So I think it's just
Quote,
sort of
game of the year.
more or less,
So, yeah.
I believe.
And then we also have Mafia on Friday.
Yeah.
For $60.
Thank you for
yeah.
remembering
Check out
that.
all weekend. We'll have coverage. Digital, we have Castles for $5, Happy Dungeons, which is free to play, Necropolis, which is $30, which is a co-op, cartoony-looking Dark Soulsy game.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
I watched Jose play this for an hour at an event we were at, and there's a lot of appeal to this game.
Yep.
And he wasn't even playing it co-op. I could see how it would be
nice.
even better in co-op.
Very cool. Axiom Verge for $18 that came out last year on various consoles. It's an
What up, Metroid?
8-bit
Cool game.
inspired
Yeah.
Metroidvania, cool game, and then Zenith for $20. I do not.
I
know
might
what
have
that
to
is.
pick up Axiom, actually.
It's cool.
One
game.
more.
Yeah.
Also King's Quest Chapter 4. Oh, they're still making those games. King's Quest Chapter 4. There's no place like home.
Yes.
I bet that takes place in an Arctic
Yes.
climate.
Love it.
That's $10, or probably free if you have it.
The season pass thing, yeah.
And then, of course, on the marketplace, there's a free trial of Recore, which I think
That's
is
great.
the first 30 minutes or the first hour.
I believe you're correct.
Yeah, which is cool.
I think it's the first half hour.
So yeah, check it out. Also, until November 1st, there's a free playable demo of Outlast 2.
Nice.
I'm assuming it's the same thing we've covered at events, but it's pretty
I
cool.
would
It's sort of a
suspect
tone
so.
piece for the game, real spooky, real pretty. And then Lost Odyssey is now backwards.
It's a big
compatible.
one.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Speaking
I'm
of cult
really
classics
excited.
like
Yeah,
Voodoo
seriously.
Vince, it's a good week if you're a
Yeah.
fan of cult classic
Yeah,
Xbox
that game
games.
has a lot of reading in it.
Yeah.
The writing's good though, so that's good.
Yeah.
And then, of course, October Games of Gold. Super Mega Baseball, extra innings all month long, which is evidently a very good baseball game.
Just not Major League
I think
licensed.
Polygon was one of their Game of the Year nominees when
Wow.
it came out, so they really like it. Then The Escapists, which is the 16th through the 15th of November on Xbox One, and then MX vs. ATV Reflex for the first half of the month, and
Yep.
I Am Alive for the second half of the month.
Good stuff.
360 games.
All right, we're gonna get on out of here. We'll get back to trivia next week. I know, Destin, you're frustrated because you wanted that.
Why did I
that-
even show up today? No,
I
I'm
know.
just kidding.
I'm
Well, unless you were confident in the end, I know the answer. So.
You do.
Oh, I knew this one too.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, let's just do it. Really
Are
quick.
we-
It's all right.
Well, we're looking at it, so fine.
All right, all right.
Okay, real quick. Vincent Harris is our winner this week. He gets a free game. In honor of Mafia 3 dropping this Friday, which of these 4 games about mobs, about mafia life, and mobster life, was not originally for an Xbox platform? In other words, it came to it later. So was it The Godfather, the game, Mafia 1, The Godfather, the game 2, or Mafia 2? So you guys both confident? I definitely knew this one.
Yeah.
So your card.
I'm
confident,
not
Marty?
confident.
Not confident. Destin,
Yeah.
what do you think?
I'm gonna. Oh man, I feel like it's either Mafia 1 or Godfather. Like I feel like it came out on one of the other platforms and then Xbox.
What do you think?
I'll go with Mafia just because Mafia's coming up.
Okay, Marty.
Yeah, that's right. Mafia came out a couple
Yes!
years early on PC.
You are
if I
indeed.
remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
I reviewed the Xbox port when it came to Xbox later.
Yeah, I remember not having a gaming PC and being like, I want to play this game. And then 2 years later, like,
The port was really good, actually.
Marty, I'm only 2 points behind. I thought I was doing much worse.
that's because you trick Ryan into sending me off on all sorts of trips.
Gotcha.
Totally works.
Boom.
I'm not going anywhere for the rest of the year. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
All right, if you want to win an Xbox game, send your Xbox trivia question, include 4 multiple choice answers, and note the correct one in your email to unlocked@ign.com. Sign up for IGN Prime to keep our lights on and keep the ads off of your IGN experience. IGN.com/Prime. It's $30 for the year. Follow us on Twitter. I'm at DMC_Ryan. You, of course, know about the Gears of War 4 review, and I mentioned the other stuff at the top of the show that you should definitely be checking out. Watch Dogs 2 is our IGN first, which
Yeah.
Marty is kindly handling personally.
Yeah, so we have
check out all that
mission
coverage.
reveals, a big preview. We're going to be making up stuff all through the month. Go to go.ign.com/watchdogs2.
Marty, anything else?
No, that's it. Mafia 3 impressions over the weekend, and then I guess if you're at New York Comic Con, look out for Sean and Alana. They're both gonna be roaming
that's
around.
right.
Yeah, say hello.
That's
all
why
weekend.
they're not here.
Yeah. So say hi to them if you see them in New York.
Destin?
Well, I mean, at IGN, my role's definitely changed a lot. I'm more of a facilitator, just making sure that we're trying this new news product right now. We tried it with Portal, and we're doing a new video coming up soon for a movie product. Kind of excited about that.
Nice.
And, of course, then after work, that's when I get to play video games now. So, like...
the irony.
Yeah, check me out on twitch.tv/The Destin Channel. I was up way too late trying to get Fran through the raid, and I'm tired today. Didn't go well.
At least if it's with your boss, you have an excuse to drag.
Because he's also going to be
your feet
tired.
the next
so-
day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening as always, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.